Hello and welcome to Talk of the Game. We've just finished Arsenal 3, West Ham 0. It's time to start looking over our shoulders, boys. I think we're all doing it during the night anyway. But let's get discussing the game first and then we'll chat about other stuff later on. Tom, what did you think about our start? I mean, the first half was quite uneventful, really. But what did you make of the first half?
I thought we played to a man in the first half. I thought that we could actually see that fight that we probably hadn't seen for the last few weeks. Defensively, Slav seemed to have got everybody set up perfectly in that first half. There was not many chances really from either side, but we defended well in that first half. So I guess we were hoping for a point maybe to set up like we did in the first half, maybe to nick it at the end. So really at half time you couldn't complain, based on the opposition that we were playing against.
Gonzo, half time, were you sort of echoing Tom's thoughts, or were you thinking this isn't enough?
I thought Noble was industrious, so I thought that was nice to see him. But before the game, I thought we should put a second string out in this game because I didn't want any of our top guys to get injured. So I could see what he was doing. He was trying to, as Tom said, he was trying to get the draw and come away with a point. And at that point of 45 minutes, it looked like the plan may well be working. And if we had to come away with a point, it would have been a very, very good point indeed. No doubt about it. So, yeah, I think half time I was thinking, okay, we're in. And we had kept him relatively quiet because Sanchez was on the left. And that was, even though he was obviously targeting Byram, I was pleased to see Sanchez on the left, rather than in the middle because he's such a dangerous player. And Welbeck in the middle who's a bit crap sometimes. So I was quite pleased with that, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I thought it was going all right.
I think it was a case of head and heart for me. Do you know sometimes when you give predictions, you say, head says we'll get thumped 3-0 and heart says we'll get a draw. It was a bit like that performance for me. The head was saying this is not good. We had no quality going forward. Every time we go into their half, it seemed like if it went to Ayew or Antonio, they would seem to go on like almost like a solo. They just ran until they got tackled. And I thought, well, this isn't really, because then they'd lose the ball and they'd just come straight back at us. And I just thought, it's not really working. But the heart of me says they were throwing their bodies on the line. They were grafting. They were working hard. I thought Chekiati had the best 45 minutes of his season in that first half. The tackles he was putting in, putting himself about. But at half time, the problem is, like every other West Ham fan, we would have been looking at the results elsewhere thinking this isn't good. It was almost like a point. At one point, you're thinking, is that point enough here? Because everything was going against us. And I did wonder if that was going to filter through to the players at some point, where the players going to go in there and hear the results and think, oh, crap, this isn't good enough. But it all started going downhill, Tom. Antonio, we assume went off with an injury or he was only fit to play 45 minutes, but he went off. Snodgrass come on, and it seen West Ham that was seen against Hull.
Yeah, it's. I think Gonzo's a bit more annoyed than I am, to be honest with you. But I mean, after that first half, I was so positive going into the second half because I thought it was almost like Chelsea the other year. When Mourinho came out after the game and said that Allardyce was playing 19th century football. Do you know what? I would have taken that because it would have given us so much confidence going into Saturday's game against Swansea. And the complete opposite was to get thrashed in the way that we did. But Snodgrass and Faguli. I mean, I was up there at the weekend with a few of the other lads, and they were woeful, and they deservedly didn't get their place in the start 11 tonight. But I don't understand why Bilic wouldn't go, and I know you mentioned it in the group chat, why he wouldn't go to Fernandez, someone that's young, sprightly, actually looked like he can create something, because Snodgrass yet again came on in the second half and he's created and done absolutely nothing. And it was just to be honest with you, I don't really know what to say, but it was just poor.
We'll go to more individual performances after. But Gonzo 1-0, I mean, you could say it was coming, but the way we were defending, you could say that we deserved to keep them out. But Ozil, I mean, if this isn't somewhat West Ham season, this goal, I don't know what is. There's Masuaku doesn't do great. Fonte's clearance is absolute pish. And then Ozil's shot. What Randolph should be doing better. I know Sanchez is putting him off, but what is Randolph doing? Like, how does he not get his hands to that?
I don't know. I don't care. In many respects, the keeper should have been. I don't know why we're still playing that keeper. Surely after you let a load of goals in and you're on a string, how many games we lost in a row? I've lost count. 5, 6, 7, summit, a lot. Surely you change the keeper, whatever. Anyway, I don't actually blame him for that because I don't think he should have been in. I do blame Font. We were told Font was a leader. What a crap clearance. How can, and we were told he was a leader and he can communicate. He can't communicate. The first half, he smashed into Kiate. He should have been saying, I'm here, it's my ball, talking, total silence, bam, clattered into Kiate, almost had to go out with an injury. And then the second half, I think he clatter into Ginge again. Masuaku, that was it. Wasn't talking, silent. How can you be a leader if you're not talking, you're not communicating? He's crap. Total waste of money, actually. Yeah, and I blame him for that. It was a crap clearance.
Tom, would you like to elaborate more on their first goal? I mean, just sums up West Ham's season. That goal, it was an okay shot, but it was just...
Yeah, it was nothing special. It just generally, it was probably another one of those goals that yet again we could have avoided. It was just poor team play all round. Like Gonzo said, Fonte should be sticking that ball in row Z or just clearing it anywhere, but to where he cleared it. And Randolph should be doing better. And I was banging on the Randolph drum since last year for him to start, but the last few weeks he's made the similar sort of errors that we saw Adrian making at the start of the season. So. And he should be doing better, I think, from that. We saw a similar one with Mahrez the other week when he sort of crossed the ball in and he was beaten on that side of the goal. And for me, yes, it's Fonte's mistake for not clearing, but I still think that Randolph should be able to parry it from there. But like you said, just sums up West Ham's season. It was just a poor goal to concede yet again.
I think Randolph's getting primarily blamed for me because up until that point, the defence had given Randolph very little to do. They were blocking absolutely everything for him. And Fonte was part of those was blocking everything for them. And now and again, you're going to have to call on your keeper. And I know Sanchez is there, but he has to be gambling. Randolph has to gamble. He has to be watching that ball the whole time and just punching it away out. But then Sacco come on for Andy Carroll, and then this guy scores every time he plays against us. 6 in 12 games now, I think he's got against us. Gonzo. Theo Walcott made it 2-0. But what was Czech Kiati doing? I praised him for the first half, but Ozil standing right next to him, get it to Sanchez and run, and Kiati just stands there. He just stands there until he realises Ozil right down the side of the box with the ball. He thinks, oh, that's my man. And then it's just too easy, that goal. That second goal, the heads went down, and it was just too easy.
Well, he was walking. That's what he was doing. You asked what he was doing. He was walking. They played a simple 1-2. Funny, like me and my mate Marcus, we play FIFA, but we play on the same team. That me and you do it sometimes, Gio, on a thing. And whenever we play Chelsea, we isolate David Luiz because he's slow. He's really slow. And we always do the same thing. We always score against Chelsea. Play a 1-2 around David Luiz. And I looked at that. It was so easy. And there he was strolling. Strolling like an old geezer while they played the 1-2. So easy goal. Just absolutely humiliating. And it sounds, I don't care. I might sound pissed off. I am. I don't care. The reason is I would have had this game. I would have let it go if he'd have just. You almost had a get out of jail free card on this one. He almost had a free pass, which he could have done, but he went and he played. And I tell you what, I said in the preview that if he goes with anything near a full strength team, one of our top guys gets injured and can't play against Swansea, then it's on Bilic's head. It really is. And if it turns out, as it looks might be the case, that Antonio's hamstring has flared up over that today, then I'll tell you what, on Bilic's head, may it rest, because I think it'd be gone if he loses against the Swansea game. Anyway, I don't even know. I'm just so annoyed. I can't remember what the question was.
It's all right. Well, Fernandez then came on for Mark Noble. Then Olivier Giroud. As soon as Giroud came on, I think everyone went, this is the way to be 3-0. Tom, fantastic goal. But again, Oxlade-Chamberlain just runs. No one puts a tackle in. Gives it to Giroud. He does the most basic turn ever onto his strong foot and somehow has the world's biggest gap to take a shot. Fantastic finish. But like the second one, just piss easy.
Yeah, it's just the floodgates are open at that point. You know what it's like. It's been the same with us all season. The second goal goes in and that's it. Everybody's heads drop. And it was just another simple goal to concede. Wenger putting on Oxlade-Chamberlain, especially when we'd worked hard or we'd, run about for 80 minutes. He just tore us apart, and then a really good finish by Giroud. But what can you say? It's just at 2-0, we know from this, like last season, we could have been 2-0 down like we were at Everton, and we knew we were going to come back into the game. We could do something to switch on like that. But this season, as soon as it gets to 2-0, our heads just drop, and that's it. And I think we could have saved ourselves going into Swansea, because realistically, we didn't have to concede that. We didn't need to concede that third goal. You know, we could have kept our pride intact. All right, we're taking it 2-0 and have a bit of confidence for Swansea. But 3-0, it just... The way in which we conceded goals, the way in which we're conceding goals all season, it just doesn't give you confidence going into the weekend again for Swansea in the bread and butter point game that we need to stay up now. But you know, fair play to Arsenal. They dug out it second half, and it was a great finish from Giroud.
Arsenal could have had a few penalty shouts, but I think the most obvious one was at the end there when Byram stood on Monreal. I think that was a stonewall pen, possibly a second booking for Byram. He got off with that one a little bit, but finished 3-0. Gonzo, is it now worrying that we are all throughout that game we were sort of looking at other results? Spurs got 2 late goals against Swansea to sort of give us a little bit of a boost, but is it getting embarrassing now that we're just now that's the stage?
Well, when our last show, the last review we did, with Charlie was on, and Charlie said he'd think we're good enough, and I said to Charlie, I clicked up the league. I said, who below us? Who are we better than? Below us. I said, aside from Middlesbrough and Sunderland, who are we better than? Well, I don't know. I'm not sure there is anyone. I'll tell you what, if Arsenal could have picked a team to play tonight, it would have been Sunderland, and after that it would have been us, because you know we gifted them that, and it is a worry that we're, in answer to your question, that we're now reliant on other teams' results, and we're looking at other teams' results, because do you know what, we can't impact the game ourselves, so we're looking for favours. Last week they were slapping each other up, those Arsenal fans, punching each other in the face. They're cuddling each other and kissing each other now because of what we've done. I'll tell you what, I'm absolutely Byram. You said about Byram, he's just not good enough, quite frankly. There's no pace in the team. Ayew's too slow. What position does he play? Snodgrass. I mean, what have we done? What have we done? What a waste of money. 5 years on that. I mean, what's he do? I can't. And I've had a pizza tonight. I must be fitter than Sacco. I've got to be fitter than Sacco. He wasn't fit. Did he look fit to you, Tom? Gio, did he look fit to you?
No, he doesn't. Neither did Antonio. You know, it felt like desperate time. It is desperate times, but it felt like that on the pitch. It felt like we were patched up a little bit. You know, the first half, I thought the front four were doing quite well going forward. I thought we've got a little bit of flexibility here. They were interchanging. There was movement. I thought this is good. Snodgrass, come on. I don't think he moved from the left fifth of the pitch. He didn't come over to the middle of the pitch at any point. He's so static. Such a small space of pitch. But yet, at one point, Mustafi was jogging and it looked like Snodgrass was puffing and sprinting, and Mustafi was breezing past him. we've got the slowest guy in the league here or something. This guy. But the worst thing is when he comes on, everyone just goes, "Oh, that's it. Then we've lost this." Everyone does it in a joking way, but we all know there's not going to be anything from him, and it's concerning that you look at the bench. You know, someone tweeted me at halftime going, "What would you do?" And I said, "Well, look at the bench. Apart from Fernandez, you've got a half-fit Sacco, you've got an unproven Kaleri, you've got a slow and pish Snodgrass, you've got not so quite slow, but just as pish Figuli. You know, everything's just wrong at the minute. And the worst thing is, all those results tonight, the teams below us and around us all scored. And that is what's worrying me, that we didn't score. It was a 70th minute for us to have our first shot on target. They were playing our third keeper. Why were we not belting the balls at him even from 25 yards out? Why were we not testing him, saying, let's see what this guy's made of? Every time we got a set piece, it should have been hung up in his face and said to Carroll, as soon as you get a chance to smash him. Like he did to De Gea when he rocked up at Upton Park for the first time. That ball went in there. He went in, smacked into De Gea, laid him out on the floor. Welcome to England. Welcome to Premier League. Carlos should have been in on Martinez, but he never got the chance. The ball didn't even go near him. That third keeper has got a clean sheet. He must be pissing himself laughing tonight. Tom, where's the blame tonight? Or do we lay blame anywhere? Because, like you said, everyone has wrote it off. However, we have to remember, what is it, since February, the only teams Arsenal have beaten is Sutton and Lincoln.
Yeah. We knew that we were going to be added to that list. But I think, as much as there's blame everywhere, there's blame with Bilic, there's blame with the players, there's blame with the board. What can you do? What manager can you get in with 7 games to go that's going to radically change that? Because that, I don't think it can be changed just yet. I think we're going to have to wait till the summer to get rid of Bilic. We're going to have to stick with him for the next few games. But the thing is, even if obviously, I'm myself like yourself. I'm Bilic in, but I wish he would change things slightly. But seeing the way that those players perform out there tonight, just especially at Hull at the weekend, and the annoying thing is that first 45 minutes they played for the shirt, they played for pride, they did everything we wanted him to do tonight and more in that first 45 minutes. But how do you go in at half time and then come out that poor in the second half? They should have been pumped up. They should have been G'd up for that second half, ready to fight some more, because we could have escaped tonight with a point and gone into the weekend and have been full of confidence to fight for survival, just like Hull are doing. Even I know Crystal Palace lost this evening, they were 1-0 up at one point. Swansea were 1-0 up at one point. These are all teams that are actually fighting for survival. I don't see that same fight with us. And it's scary because we are in that relegation fight. And if we lose to Swansea this weekend, we truly are screwed. We could really be in, because where do our next points come from? But I don't think, unfortunately, there's nothing we can really do now. We've just got to sort of stick with it and hope and pray for the best, because, like I said, I don't think there's another manager we can get in now to radically change the squad. We can't change the board now. The signings and stuff is things that need to be made in the summer. So there is a lot of things wrong right now, but I don't know how we escape from this. Like I said, we're just going to have to pray that something comes from it and that we actually manage to pick up a result this weekend and somehow guide ourselves to safety. But friggin' hell, it's going to be really tough these next few weeks. Because we are right in amongst it, especially with Hull winning this evening.
Gonzo, what do you think about the Bilic thing? Would you hand him his P45 tonight and sort of get a caretaker in for the next couple of games to see if he can do something, or would you give him Swansea? What would you do with the manager?
Yeah, I think he deserves Swansea. He got it really, really wrong today. But I do think he deserves Swansea. Wasn't even playing to Carroll's strengths. How many times we see Carroll drifting out wide? At least, if you're going to do it, do it ugly and get some balls up to him and get some decent crosses into him. We're not playing to his strengths. The commentator said, he really rates Fernandes. No, he doesn't. Well, clearly not. He's shown lots of promise. Why is he starting him? He's doing a lot wrong, but actually what Tom said, everyone's got a bit of blame. Anyone who had anything to do with putting that slow pedestrian squad together needs to take some blame for that, because we could change manager, we could do a lot of things now, but unless there are some really swift boys in that academy ready to step up, there's not going to be an awful lot anybody can do apart from, and unfortunately this is just what we're stuck with. We've got to hope Andy Carroll's fit, that someone can organise a defence, because I'll tell you what, someone said the other day, a couple of days ago, in Bilic we trust, we're not in a relegation scrap. What? I'm sorry. Well, why would you blindly trust someone when we're just letting in all these goals and clearly the tactical plan is not good enough and we are in a relegation scrap? I think the best we can hope for is that somehow it's turned around tactically. We can start keeping clean sheets and Andy Carroll can start heading some balls in, because I'll tell you what, I worry. How many points do we need? 5, 6? They are not going to be easy points to come by. And if we do not get 3 points against Swansea, we are bang in it. And I tell you that, we'll be going to making some funny away trips next season, because we'll be in the Championship. I'll tell you that much now. We'll be hosting, there'll be 4 people on the barges, right? Do you know what I mean? Honestly, Bristol City rocking up to Stratford and all that. That's what's going to be going on. Anyway, there you go.
I'm torn on the Bilic thing, in the sense that at Hull, I was thinking these players are starting to not play for Bilic anymore. I didn't think they were, but in that first 45 times, I thought these players are playing for Bilic. But then when he took Snodgrass on, I thought he's not playing for Bilic. And I think there's a problem in that squad. I think some of them are, but they're not all are. Mark Noble tonight is as much stick as he gets, and at one point he gave away a stupid ball on the edge of our box. But the ball went from centre out to the left of Arsenal very quickly. Mark Noble can ping across and put in like a fantastic block. That's what we need to see. James Collins is crap as he is with the ball at his feet, as slow as he is, he's throwing himself at everything tonight. He was willing to take a bullet for the manager, for the club. Noble's like that as well. I think Carroll's like that. I think Lanzini's like that. Bless him. I felt sorry for him today. 3-0 down in the 85th minute. He's still trying to create something. He's still barging into players bigger than him to keep the ball and stuff. But there's some players in that team are passengers. There's some of them are passengers. And I think Sam Byram's one of those players. And it's got to the point, it's like, well, Bullitt's just clearly not been playing him for a reason. That's the reason. But who else has he put there? He's just got to sort of hope Byram suddenly gets some Premier League ability in him fast and stops these stupid tackles. You know, he's on a booking, he's flying in and tackles. When we're 3-0 down, he's putting in tackles that could get him sent off. Well, what good's that when you're 3-0 down? You're going to miss the next game. How is that?
Perhaps he wants to, mate. Perhaps he wanted to miss the next game.
So what's the point? What's the point of it? So that's not playing for the team and the manager. That's just losing your head. I think Bilic needs to work out which 11 players are going to give him 100% on Saturday. And it's not necessarily the best 11 players. It's not necessarily the 11 players with the most ability. They're not the same answers. And I think he's got to change his keeper. As much as I criticised Adrian, that guy will give 100%. He might mess up, but he loves the club, etc. And I think Bilic now needs to sort of revert to who will play for the shirt. You know, some people are saying tonight you're not fit to wear the shirt, and I think they're right. Robert Snodgrass, I know we keep picking on him, but that's because he came on. But I don't even think he broke a sweat. You know, it's embarrassing. We're in a relegation battle, and I've seen a stat just tonight. That Polish guy that set up a goal against us on Saturday set up a goal tonight. He only played his first game for Hull in February. He's now their top assists of the season. So Snodgrass couldn't have been that good then, could he? I think we've been mugged off a bit. But Tom, if we win on Saturday, are we safe? If we lose, are we down? I mean, it's Swansea. One thing I will say is, though, Swansea City were winning until, 10 minutes to go, conceded an equaliser, then conceded 2 in stoppage time. If that's not a kick in the nuts, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be equally as down as we are. But I think, do you know what? I know sort of we say hit that 40-point mark and you're safe, but I just necessarily I don't think that really with this because A, where do our points come from? B, whichever games Hull have got left this season, they could probably lose. Say they got 4 games at home, 3 games away, or something like that. I'd put money on Hull each week to win at home for the rest of the season because A, they looked dominant against us in that second half the other day, and they battered Middlesbrough this evening 4-2. So Hull at home look rock solid, and they have been. And Michael Silva's got them completely turned around, so they have to be the one to stay up. And as bad as it is, I reckon really now it's between us and Swansea who goes down. But like we said, where do those points come from? So I think if we beat Swansea on Saturday, I don't think we're going to win. I do think it probably end up being a draw or something stupid. But by no means are we safe because then who have we got the week after? I can't remember what the schedule looks like.
Sunderland away.
Sunderland away. There you go. Sunderland rock bottom of the table. We'll probably end up going and losing there as well. Yeah, it's just no, we're not safe if we win at the weekend. This is, to be honest with you, this is probably going to be one of them things that's going to come down to the final day of the season. But I fully expect Hull to overtake us in the next few weeks, and it just will be between us and Swansea as to who goes down. And like you said, we better find out the 11 that are going to be willing to play for the shirt soon, because otherwise we are going to be finding ourselves away to the likes of Burton and Bristol City next year, raving on the barges before the game.
Gonzo, is this almost our last winnable game at home of the season coming up against Swansea? Because after that we've got Everton and then Spurs and Liverpool. You know.
Oh dear! Oh, how depressing! I mean, how depressing was Tom then, and how right was he? And then you just said all those teams. What was it? AC Milan, Real Madrid, and the Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, it's just terrible. It's terrible. And do you know what? He's absolutely right. Hull probably are. This is why it's depressing. I'm listening to him say it. It's probably us and Swansea. That's terrible. Hull probably are going to overtake us because that fella, Silva, he looks really good. Burnley are all right. They'll manage it. We are not better than Burnley or Hull. The league table doesn't lie. We're not better than Burnley or Hull. We know that. I've seen them both play at Upton Park. I think they were 2 home games almost back to back. Hull kept on hitting the post and all the rest of it. That is where we are. And do you know what? How important is this Saturday's game? It's horrendously important. I mean, these are bad times. Bad times. What a joke. What a joke. I'm sorry, I probably haven't answered your question. I'm fuming, mate.
I think the next 2 games are survivor relegation, basically. Home to Swansea and away to Sunderland. I think those 2 games, because I struggle to see where we're getting. The only other team I think will get points against this season, Stoke away, because they look horrible right now. But away to Burnley, then home to Everton, Spurs and Liverpool, I struggle to see us getting anything from those games. I really do struggle to see us getting anything. So for the next 2 games, that's sort of the, it's do or die time. The sword is well out. You were either going to fight with it, we're going to pick it up and fight, or we're just going to fall on it and die. Tom, what's your last words on the game, etc.? I mean, we normally do man and match. We're not doing one of them. That would just be an insult. But is there anyone that come out with sort of praise at all? Anyone that, apart from Snodgrass, deserves a finger pointed at them? Does he deserve the finger maybe pointed at him?
I mean, I think it's just everybody really got to point a finger at everybody, just the team, then the manager, the board beyond it, and not really involved at this point of the season. They haven't helped us, but they're not involved. It's down to the players and Slaven. So, it's between them that we've got to take the blame this evening. Other than that, I thought, Noble played well in that first half. Ginge played well in that first half. Kouyaté played well in that first half. But again, that's just the first half. It's not the full 90 minutes. And in the second half, we were just everybody collectively was poor. But just looking at Swansea's remaining fixtures, they've also got to play Stoke. They've got them at home. They've got Man United away, Everton at home, Sunderland away, Albion at home, and Watford away. So I mean, they've got similar sort of fixtures to us, I guess. But it's it's who's up for the fight, And looking at that, they've probably got the easier running than we do. But it's just it's who wants it more. And I tell you what, if we go down, that is, well, I can't even begin to think about it just yet, because it's so unexpected the way that this season's panned out. But yeah, what a night another night to forget, and we go to Swansea.
We'll get Gonzo's thoughts in a second, as well as my own. And before we do that, just to remind you, we'll be back Thursday night, 8:30 live, our preview of Swansea, where we'll be trying to get over the Arsenal result a little bit in order to concentrate on Saturday, and this is what Bilic has to do, and just who should be playing. Do we have a solution? But Gonzo, what's your final thoughts?
I would just add, obviously, I've been quite scathing about everybody. Noble comes out with some credit. Ginge, as you say, with some interception. I thought Masuaku was decent for periods as well, and Lanzini, I guess. But I mean, that's it. That's it. There's nothing more to say. I've had my rant. Bad, really bad. We are right in it. We are in a relegation dogfight, and shame on anyone who had anything to do with putting a squad together, the tactics, everything. Shame on the lot of them, because I tell you now, if we do get relegated, it's over for all of them. I can tell you that now, because I don't think the board are going to suffer another relegation. The first relegation they went through, we went down because they didn't act quickly enough with Avram Grant, and they stayed low. And if the same thing happens, then I just can't see the grand master plan is over. The club being worth 500 million, 400 million, whatever. It's all gone. It's all gone. I don't see how anyone at the moment is coming out with any credit. So watch this space, because whenever the board get under threat, and not just our board, any board, whenever the board become under the threat, the first person to go is the manager. And if we don't have a resounding, thumping victory against Swansea, and we will go there and support the team, but it'll turn sour very quickly if they get into the lead in that stadium. I can tell you that. If we don't get a resounding victory against Swansea, Bilic will be out. There'll be no nice statement, we got the faith in Bilic, and he'll be gone, because the board will think, actually, if we don't sort something out now, then we'll be gone. And there you go.
I thought the first 45 minutes tonight, I think that gives me sort of a small bit of confidence on Saturday we'll turn up. But the problem is, what followed after half-time is just acceptable. We start like that against Swansea. They are a footballing side. They will tear us apart if they're on it. And to be leading against Spurs for 80 minutes is good going, unfortunately. We haven't seen the game, obviously, but that's good going. They were 10 minutes short of pulling off a wonder win against a team that's second in the league comfortably. Bilic got it wrong at halftime. Bilic had one decision to make, and he got it wrong, which is who replaces Antonio. And he went for that numpty. He should have gone for Fernandes. I don't get why he's not gone for Fernandes at all. And if he doesn't go for Fernandes, I don't know, go for Feghouli, go to a flat four in midfield or something, put Ayew up front alongside Carroll. But why he took on Snodgrass to play in Antonio's role, not just position, but his role. Antonio's role, he's running up and down the pitch. Then he brings on Snodgrass, you just can't do that. But I've seen enough in the first 45 to say we'll be okay against Swansea. But the thing is, this is it. This is worrying time, you know.
But this is the Swansea team that of Gylfi Sigurdsson, how well he's played this season. He could create something out of nothing, and they end up nicking it. You know, sorry, Gio. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
Yeah, but anyway, right. One word questions. We need to wrap this up. One word answer, please. Gonzo, will we get relegated?
Possibly.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I don't know, Gio. I don't want to say yes or no. I don't know. It's a real possibility. It's a real big possibility, mate. You know, ask me after. Excuse me. I just dribbled. I just spat on myself. That's how disgusted I am. Ask me after Swansea. I'll give you a yes/no answer after Swansea. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm holding some glimmer of faith before I spontaneously combust.
Well, you enjoy the fence there. Tom, will we get relegated?
Do you know what? Seeing that Swansea running and the fact that we lost 5 on the bounce, and after the second half we've had this evening, yeah, we will. Do you know what? I think it is a real possibility, and I've got no confidence in us whatsoever at the minute. And it pains me to say it, but do you know what? It is every chance that we go down, and if we carry on the way that we do, then we are well and truly screwed. So I'll say yeah, because what else have we got to go on at the minute? But I wish I could say no. But it's that wouldn't, you know, I would be telling a lie, because, like I said, where's the positives at the minute? It's poor.
I'm going to say no, we'll stay up but I might change my mind on Saturday evening. Ask me again on Saturday evening, I might change my mind. But for me, no, I think we'll stay up by a couple of points or something. I've got a small bit of faith from somewhere. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you really enjoyed the video, share it on social media. And come on to our forum at hammerschat.com. Hit the subscribe button. We'll be back Thursday night at 8:30. Looking forward to the game against Swansea, which is absolutely massive.